Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, I want to share invaluable life lessons and wisdom from the high seas. That's right, we spent about 2 weeks on a cruise ship on the NCL cruise ship on a transatlantic cruise, and this ship was full of seniors, a lot of retirees on this particular ship, and they shared their advice on navigating the golden years. Now, we were some of the youngest retirees on this 2 week transatlantic cruise, and they took us under their wings. We had plenty of time to talk because, like I said, it was almost 2 weeks. We had about 10 sea days, and so we got a chance to interact and talk with people, and they were willing to share their successes and things that they thought were important as far as retirement. So grab a cup of coffee or tea and sit back, and let's dive into the pearls of wisdom about health, relationships, time, money, and the importance of discussing end of life issues with your family. When most people think about retirement, the first concern that everyone talks about is money. Surprisingly, though, that was not the most important issue for most of these retirees. Their health was their number one concern. They understood that the quality of your life suffers significantly if you or your spouse are not in good health. Who wants to spend their retirement years in and out of doctors' offices? So the retirees emphasized that maintaining their health was the most important part of a fulfilling retirement. They shared their secrets about staying active, not sitting around watching hours and hours of TV, eating balanced meals, keeping up with their doctor's appointment, medical checkups. And I was amazed at how active these guys were on the ship. The gym, we went in the morning, they were packed. Any fitness related sessions were full of people. They actively participated in the evenings activities where I was fading by the end of the day. I feel like these guys were running rings around me. So I suspect that they may have been taking naps during the afternoons. So we met an incredible couple, though, on this ship. And the husband in this couple was dealing with a rare condition, and he had to retire in his 50s because he was slowly declining. So they decided to travel as much as they could before he reached the age or the period where he could no longer travel. So they made a commitment to each other to see all the things that they wanted to see together before it was too late. In fact, they took this cruise because he could no longer fly anymore. So their advice to us was to do as much as you can while you're reasonably healthy. We can't take our health for granted. And I know I'm preaching to the choir because I need to do a better job of taking care of myself as well. So one thing they stressed over and over again was to make your health a priority. So take care of yourself and each other. The next category was relationships. And we talked about this always brought a smile to people's faces. Sometimes it was a smile full of joy, and sometimes it was wistful based on their circumstances. I guess at this point of life, in life, you realize what's important, and a lot of time it's not collecting a bunch of stuff. The retirees and the seniors on this ship stressed the importance of nurturing connections with their loved ones. It could be your spouse, significant other, your children, your friends, even new people that you met. Building time and maintaining strong relationships, they realize can enrich your life immeasurably when you're in retirement. Retirements also said they wanted to be with their family and friends because they realized how precious time is and you can't get it back. There were widows and widowers on the ship who no longer had their spouse, and they wished that they had spent more time with them before they were gone. You also have to carve out time. It could be physically, virtually, or just a phone call. I know that we're traveling a lot, but I still try to spend as much time as I can with my family and friends. And I know I need to do better, and I will try to do better. But I feel like whenever I'm back in the States, I've really tried to put that time in with them. Even when we're traveling, just a phone call or a WhatsApp where I can do a virtual phone call, a visual call, is makes a world of difference being able to see them. And I know before retirement, we were so stressed and we spent so many hours working that I could only spend a few days a year with my family members and friends. Now I have much more time, and so I am trying to make it a priority to spend as much time with them. And I feel like I am spending more time with them. So sometimes I'm going, I can actually spend the night for like a week or two, and it's been really nice without having to rush back and be back to work on time. So they stress that relationships are so important. Another area that everyone talked about was time. Time is something that we all have, but we all take it for granted sometimes. The retirees on this ship taught me that retirement is the perfect time to explore passions, hobbies, new adventures, all those things that you've been putting off and say, when I have the time, this is the time to do it. A lot of couples like Kevin and I were traveling together. That was their passion. This is what they wanted to spend their time doing. There are also a lot of solo travelers living their best life. And so they were on there and they were like, hey, I may never get married, or I used to be married, or I am married, but this is something I want to do. And so they were traveling and enjoying themselves and not letting that stop them. There were also some people, like I said, on there and they were married, and traveling wasn't their spouse's thing, and so they would go on trips like this, cruises or whatever, and they would travel solo and spend time together, and then they would go back home and spend time with their spouse, and their spouse could be at home pursuing whatever passion that they had too. So I thought that was kind of nice that they do that, and the cruise ships are doing a really good job of supporting single travelers now, so that's fantastic. Another thing I would say about time is don't let people waste your time, especially at this point in your life. Prioritize what's important because time will quickly slip away. And I can't believe I've been retired 2 years already. It's going by so fast, so fast. So decide what you want to spend your time doing and just do it. Also realize that the first years of your retirement are your best years. So you're in the best health and you need to do those things that you want to do. So make it a priority to do it. There are many people over and over again that said that they wish that they had retired earlier. We met many couples who retired early like we did, and they said they had no regrets. So it kind of validated what we were doing. They applauded us for doing it while we were young enough to enjoy traveling. So retire as soon as you're able to do it, because a lot of people feel like, oh, I'll just do one more year of work, and then it turns into multiple years of work. So you have to ask yourself. I know a couple was saying, how much is enough? How much money do you really need? Don't wait until you're falling apart, is what they were saying, and then you can't enjoy your retirement. So don't give all your best years away to a company or a job, especially if it's one that you no longer like. Some people love working and they love their jobs. And if that's the case, then stay and do it. But for those of you who don't, are you ready to retire? Or you want to do it while you're young and able? Do it. Retirement is your time. Embrace it with joy and curiosity and just enjoy it. Of course, we can't forget about money, the elephant in the room. Financial security is crucial for stress free retirement. You have to be financially able to do it. Retirees on the ship advise planning ahead, of course, saving diligently, making wise investments. It was important to them to live within your means and avoid unnecessary debts. If you don't have enough money to retire now, don't feel like it's too late. Start saving now. Figure out what lifestyle that you want to live in retirement and then create a budget so you'll know exactly what you need and how to get it. Also, you may have already have what you need, but you're letting fear keep you from taking the leap. Like I said, so many people on the ship said, hey, we wish we'd done it sooner. Um, and also don't feel like, okay, I retire, I can't work anymore. You can also make money in retirement. Just because you retired, the standard, I guess, the U.S. uses no longer full-time work. You can still work part-time. You can do side hustles. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's okay. So think outside of the box. We heard of so many stories of seniors being clever with keeping some type of extra income coming into their household so that they didn't have to be concerned about running out of money. They would do sometimes they're consulting, sometimes their job asks them to come back part time and put in a couple of hours. So any of that, and they love seniors. They love people like us, older people who they know will show up and actually work. So a lot of them found their passion endeavors that allowed them to earn income in retirement. So find a way to be financially free. Financial freedom gives you the peace of mind to enjoy your retirement fully. Be creative. Look at us. We sold our stuff. We downsized so that we could retire early. The last category, but the most important one, was to discuss end of life issues. A lot of people on this ship, I mean, these were go getters. I loved it. I had a blast on this ship. I'm looking forward to my next transatlantic cruise or long term cruise like this because I learned so much from people and I was just soaking it up. So, lastly, but most importantly, is discuss those end of life issues with your family. And it's tough. Some people don't want to talk about it, but we're all going to die. And so, retirements unanimously agreed that this was important to have open conversation about wills, medical directives, funeral arrangements, so that you can prevent misunderstandings and when you're gone, and to provide clarity for those people who are left behind. Talk about your stuff. Who gets what? Does anyone even want this stuff? I heard this one lady talk about how she was just staying in her house so that her kids could have it. And she was saying that none of these guys want it. So if they don't want it, then why are you staying there? So she could sell it. She could use the money to fund her golden years. But she was holding on to something that was going to be a point of contention for her kids. So it's better to have that discussion out in the open and make the decision that benefits everyone. And trust me, your family will thank you for it. We've done this with our kids. We've set up wills and trusts and things like that, so they don't have to think about this stuff later. You know, it's because you're grieving. People can take advantage of you, and so this is something that's it's going to help them, and it'd be less stress for them to have to worry about. And they'll know exactly what we were thinking because we've talked about it already. So after we realized that our kids had no plans to move back into the area that we were living in, we got rid of that big old house. It made little sense for us to maintain that house when that's not the type of lifestyle that we wanted in retirement. So our gift to our kids was to simplify and clearly state our wishes, and their gift to us was to express their thoughts so that we could create the kind of life we wanted to live in retirement. So there you have it. Priceless advice from a ship full of wise retirees. These seniors were go getters. So we talked about health, relationships, time, money, and end of life discussions. These are all pillars of a fulfilling retirement for these guys. So I hope that you found these insights as inspiring as I did. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more tips about retirement. I'll try to do more retirement videos. I know a lot of times I'm doing the travel videos, and I have people all the time ask me, well, how did you do this? Anytime I come across any advice or things I can share with you guys, I would definitely try to do that. So until next time, take care, everyone, and cherish every moment.